Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another super cool radio interview. I'm your host, Matthew Thomas. Thank you so much for tuning in. I got a great guest joining me at this time on May 10th. Beautiful Skeletons released their latest single entitled Letter to a Narcissist. Please welcome the lead vocalist for Beautiful Skeletons, Tina Firefly.
Hello. Is it Matt or Matthew? I forgot to ask you.
Oh, either one. I'm good with either one.
Okay, cool. Because some people get really upset when you abbreviate their name.
I know. Luckily I'm very easygoing. So I know we got quite a bit to discuss. Obviously, we got the new single. You guys have an upcoming EP as well. Before we get to all that, a fun question, not Beautiful Skeletons related, but music related. Okay. If you could have dinner with any two musicians throughout history, living or deceased, who would they be?
Ooh, damn.
I do start off with some heavy questions. We will get progressively easier.
It's Friday, Matthew. Don't challenge my brain cells so bad. I'm kidding. Two people living or deceased, you said, right? Yeah. Okay, so for living, at least I hope she's still living, Alanis Morissette would be one. And damn. I don't know that there are any dead ones that I want to talk to. It sounds so bad.
Someone's just going to take that part of the clip and it's just going to be that part of the interview that people recognize.
Sorry. I just realized as I was thinking, I was like, I don't think any of them are dead yet.
Well, how about another living? We'll go with that one.
Okay. Then Barbra Streisand.
Ah, very nice. Two very good picks. I like those.
Thank you.
I think Alanis Morissette, when she did like a whole world tour like a year or two ago, I'm pretty sure she still tours pretty regularly.
Oh, is she?
I think she did. Oh,
okay. Yeah,
I thought, or maybe that was pre-COVID. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure she had like a big tour not that long ago. At least I could be wrong, but I think so.
I hope so. I mean, she's still amazing. I personally have never seen her live, but yeah, if I could just teleport her into my room right now, I totally would.
I think it'll be a fantastic conversation. But now, folks, some more now on Beautiful Skeletons. As I said in the intro, you guys released an awesome new single entitled Letter to a Narcissist. So for anyone who has not checked this out, what can they expect musically and lyrically?
Well, I mean, you can expect a song that will have you wondering, did she write that about my friend? Fill in the blank. And that's what we want. Because we all know people like that. Be real with yourself. They're in your circle, whether you actually understand that they're there or not. And they're the sneakiest, in my opinion, narcissists are, right? They use you, abuse you, but they gaslight you so you think it's all in your head. There was a specific person that actually did inspire these lyrics, but at the same time, it's the concept in general I think everyone should be able to relate to.
Oh, you know, when I checked out the music and music video, I definitely related to it because I had like a sort of a pretty recent incident in my personal life or something like that happened. So, yeah, I can. It's pretty universal. Unfortunately, it's pretty universal because there are quite a bit of those people out there. Unfortunately.
Yeah, very, very much so. And so, even if it's a personal experience, I think we can all relate to that one too. And like in the chorus, for example, it says, your words are like stones and silence is a hammer to my bones. Because generally, if you have somebody like that in your life, like anything that you have to say means nothing. But when they stop talking, that has a lot of impact. And so you find yourself questioning your own self about it, which is why I wrote that lyric specifically for the chorus.
Oh, right on. And yeah, it's just trying to interact with those people. Like, as I said with my situation, is like I just decided to leave because like no point really, fighting it. But yeah, like it seems like they're always the ones important, and you like the other people are just cast aside, and they don't really care like who it is.
Yeah, I mean, I was with a group of friends the other day, and somebody was saying, well, I don't like hanging out with so and so because she's like, I don't know what it is. She just sucks me dry. And I laughed and I was like, have you watched the video for my new one yet? Because that's literally in the bridge, what's in it for you? And you sucked me dry. And that's what they do. Some people call them energy vampires. I mean, I've heard that used before. And I'm telling you, it's a narcissist. It really is.
Oh yeah, and you can definitely tell. Yeah, just steals your energy and just makes you
Mm-hmm.
not enjoy life, and that's sad because life should be you should enjoy life.
100%.
So I'm curious for for this single and for the upcoming EP, was it a different like writing and recording experience compared to previous material?
Yeah, definitely. I kind of had a family emergency at the end of last year, and we had to cancel a bunch of things, which sucked. But priorities are priorities. And when I was taking care of that and just starting to finish up with that and sort of come back and start again, the guys had actually gotten together and written 4 of those 5 songs and just sent the tracks to me, and they were like, hurry up and catch up. And I was like, oh, well, shit, now I have 4 songs to write to. So that's kind of how that started. Typically, when we write because we have so much musical chemistry as a 4-piece. We could literally just jam all day and create new songs. So basically, they just said, here you go, catch up. And I was like, well, fuck, okay, I should get busy. So it took me a little bit, and I struggled because I was still sort of emotionally recovering too. But yet at the same time, I was able to sort of channel that into making sure I got these buttoned up, because they were like, yeah, we already started recording it. I'm like, what? So they were far ahead of me, and I felt like, fuck, okay, now I have to be Tina Firefly again, and I have to figure out what I'm doing here. And so that's how all that started, which is totally a first, because normally we have so much chemistry, like musical chemistry. We get together and we jam and stuff, and we could write new songs all fucking day long. I mean, we literally have hundreds of recordings of half songs. So yeah, we have to actually stop and go like, okay, no new songs, just current material.
All right, so so how far ahead were they compared to like you when they started recording the new music?
How far ahead do you mean, like in the writing process,
Yeah,
or?
yeah. Like, so, like, how much like a head start do they have for the music compared to you?
Well, we all have our own lanes. None of us do crossover. So like, nobody else does vocals, nobody else does lyrics and melody. And I don't do anything other than that. And so when they write, they just come up with a rough structure of the song, and hammer it out, and it'll just be the instrumental basically. They send it to me, and then I'll sit there and I'll dissect it, listen to it, write to it, and sort of play with it for a while. And then when we get together, we start refining it, and I start trying the things that I was thinking of, kind of deal. So yeah, they're already done. So technically, they're like 1,000% ahead of me. I was the one that had to write afterwards. But yeah, I mean, that's a first for me. Normally, we all write together, but it was kind of an odd situation.
Oh, I got you for sure, but I mean, obviously, everything worked out well because you got the new EP coming up as well, and the first single is amazing. I really enjoy it, obviously, just because I have the personal connection to it as well, and I'm sure, as I said, many other people do as well. But
Mm-hmm.
I am curious. So the upcoming EP, what can like people expect? Like the like overall, like what can people expect from this EP?
I think you can expect to wonder why every song is completely different from the last. If you didn't know who we were before, and you've listened to other songs and seen us live and stuff, like, it wouldn't be as thinking Letter to a Narcissist, that's like a heavier song, and then flips to track 4 and is listening to Butterfly Pinned Under Glass. So there's literally such a range of different kinds of rock and metal in that. It's different. Each track is completely different from the rest.
Well, that's really cool. Like, I'm definitely looking forward to checking out the full EP when it is available. But I kind of like, I know some people kind of like to expect the same kind of style of music throughout an EP or an album. I always like when bands kind of diversify a little bit just to give like different flavors and styles of music throughout an EP or a full length.
Yeah, 100% agree. I've had this conversation all the time, because metal fans can be really elitist about what kind of metal they listen to. They're like, that's not hard enough, or that's too hard, or. So yeah, I mean, I just don't think it's that big a deal. If you enjoy our music, you're gonna like it, whether you hear it or not. I mean, I think the biggest thing that endears people is our ability to do something different every time. So we kind of capture a cross section of each person's interest.
Well, I think that's really cool. Obviously, kind of diversify it as well. But yeah, the metal community, and not calling out like any specific community, like it is music in general. But does seem like very set genres that like they expect bands to fall into and like stay. And I'm not really for that. I always like when, because you can have a cool band that has, you know, like a certain style, but then like they do something completely different and it sounds incredible too. And I think it's always cool to kind of push boundaries, especially with music.
Yeah, 100% agree.
So do you have a favorite song off the upcoming EP?
Yeah, that's a hard one, but yeah, probably Only Zool. That's the second track on there. That one is very special to me. It is about my personal horrific religious experiences growing up, in particular an exorcism that was performed on a very not possessed Tina, by the way. And it was a very like traumatic, crazy event. And I've been trying to write a song about that for a long time, and I just never found the groove. And when the guys wrote Only Zool, everything just kind of went. And I was able to actually finally, after all of these years, sort of get that out, write about it, you know?
Well, for sure. Definitely a very intense and dramatic experience for sure with that. But I'm definitely looking forward to checking it out to see the kind of lyrics and the emotion in the song as well. But also, I did want to talk about with the music video for Letter to a Narcissist. So I did touch on that earlier, but I'm curious for you. So like, how was it how was it filming the music video for Letter to a Narcissist?
That was weird. I mean, I've done a bunch of music videos before, but the first green screen ever. And it's a very different type of filming. It's very weird. I am the opposite of what they want for green screen. For green screen, they don't want you to move. Like just little teeny head movements, but like you yourself can't move position because they need to be duplicating you and doing all this crazy shit. And that's not what I do. I move. When I'm singing, I have to move. Like it just seems so weird to stand there and try very hard not to like, oh shoot, did I, I mean, it's like crazy. And they did this really cool thing where they had us all on like a rotating dais. And there was like a guy in the background that was like actually pulling this thing so that it would like spin. And I was like, holy shit, that looks awesome. And I get on there and it doesn't look like it's going very fast, but holy shit, trying to stay in one position while looking at the camera and singing and performing as you're spinning around like a rotisserie fucking chicken is crazy.
It sounds like it
was crazy.
I like the metaphor for rotisserie chicken. That's solid.
I just swear that's what I felt like. I was like, we're getting roasted in a circle here. No, it was cool. I'm glad we did it, but I can't say that I'm going to go for another green screen video again.
Especially like if you're, for performance, like obviously you move around, you interact, you bring energy, and like with the green screen, like I didn't know that. I don't use I've never used a green screen before, but I didn't know you're really not supposed to move that much. But I guess that makes sense because they have to put the whatever images and videos behind you, so it makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. And so basically they just had us going like doing, a million takes of the same thing, just in different positions. But all of those positions were like one of those, like, you can't move at all. And it's just so hard for me. Never really thought about it until that situation. I was like, okay, now I know.
Oh, no, for sure. But so for you, like, do you have a favorite, like, Beautiful Skeletons music video that you've filmed so far?
Kraken. That was crazy. There was a scene I think it's the second verse in the music video where I'm walking forward and, I've got my arms out, I'm singing, doing all this shit. To get that scene, my videographer had to walk backwards down this like mountainous trail, being guided by the guitar player who was right behind, who was holding him and walking forwards so that he didn't have to worry about looking down. And he also had a leaf blower. so that the entire shot that they were getting was like all my hair and stuff. It was crazy. I mean, it looked so good in the end, but I was so scared for them. I was like, oh my God, they're going to fall. Like, I don't know how you trust somebody that much that you walk backwards just when they've got your hand on your shoulder. And then poor Einar, his fucking arm after, I don't know, 5 or 6 takes of that, he's like, I can't lift my arm anymore because he's got the lower and one arm. That was nuts.
That's wild. I'm glad that everything turned out very well, and there was no one had issues with that. But yeah, holding a leaf blower and a camera, trying not to fall off the mountain while someone is guiding you. That
Backwards.
sounds that is a lot going on.
Yeah, that guy is freaking badass. His name's Carl Winery. He does local music videos here. He's been around for so long. He's in like a bajillion other really good bands too. But yeah, he is so creative. It's like, we have $0 in budget. So when we pay him to like film it and also to like not make it look as cheap as it actually was.
Yeah, there's always you have to make it look good, but also within the budget of
within
the budget
within the budget of 0. Yeah.
I feel that with what I do. I was like, all right, I want to do all this, and I have $4. Let's see what I can do. Before we start wrapping this up and talk about the future plans for Beautiful Skeletons for the rest of this year, I have a question. I was talking to a friend a few days ago, and I told him, like, I have not asked this question in a long time, so I'm going to ask you. And this is going to be very similar to the first question. It will be challenging. If you recorded what you considered to be the most perfect song, but it was never released, would you be content knowing you recorded it, or do you want it released?
No, hell no. I want to release. If anybody gives you a different answer, they're lying. Fuck. What? Yeah, I wouldn't want to sit on that. There's no fucking way.
Fair. That is people's responses for that. But I'm always curious. That's why I've not asked it this season. So I was like, I'm going to bring this.
It's a great question.
Thank you. I try to think of some creative questions for all my interviews. But now, as we're wrapping this up, so we're moving into, it's the end of May, moving into June. So, like, what are the rest of the plans for Beautiful Skeletons for the rest of 2024?
On the 5th of June, we dropped the video for Only Zool. I'm so stoked, finally. And then on the same day, we'll do our tour announcement, because we do have a July through August tour that we're just waiting to announce.
Right. It sounds like you got some awesome plans to move into the second half of 2024. Definitely look forward to checking out the new music video and the tour announcement as well. As we're closing this out, so like, where are the best places to find Beautiful Skeletons online? BeautifulSkeletons.com.
All our socials are there. I mean, any kind of link that you need is there. YouTube, also Instagram, Facebook, everywhere, and TikTok, even TikTok.
Very nice. I will leave some links for Beautiful Skeletons in the description of this podcast. Please check out and support them. Check out the new EP. Make sure to see them live when you can as well. But Tina, thank you so much for stopping by Super Cool Radio. I had a fantastic time chatting with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I appreciate the opportunity. I hope you guys have a fantastic day.
That's right. Thank you so much. And for Tina Firefly of Beautiful Skeletons, I'm your host always, Matthew Thomas. Thank you so much for watching and listening to Super Cool Radio. And remember, stay frosty.